Morena, it's whānau. It is Thursday morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. Just going for a walk around the block. Today we drive back to Auckland in the afternoon. So should be a interesting long day. Anyway, I'm gonna watch my Darren Daily and get the post ready before 7 o'clock. See you later. Morning up. It is 6:22. Just got back from the walk. I watched the Darren Daily and I was doing a voice note. I thought I was doing a voice note, but it turns out that it wasn't recording, so I have to start from scratch. Anyway, today's a pretty straightforward one, so hopefully I can get it done in 10-20 minutes. So I'm going to do that. See you in a bit. So I wrote the post, but I had an issue where it's still taking too long, and it basically hit max character limit. So I've been chatting with ChatGPT to come up with a solution to make sure that it gets through to busy people. And one thing that I suggested was that I want to focus on a 3-part structure, and I want to try and keep it under 1,500 characters. So in my Darren Daily tracker, which I'll show you, I don't know if you can see it, but I basically have the date, core idea, key insights, actionable advice, quotes, personal reflection. And then I have a checkbox whether I've done it or not, and then I have an illustration, which is like a file that I've done. And this is all of the Darren Dailies that I've done in this format. But I've kind of abandoned that, which I've just realized, like I haven't actually followed this or filled this out, because I've just been changing the system. And I think I need to return to this because, one, this is how I'm documenting it, and two, it's a much more concise way of talking about the key insights, because the reality is, like, the people that I want to see this message, they don't have half an hour, you know. So kia ora, it is 12:42. Just parked at the lake. Got something to eat, so I'm just gonna have a feed. I've been at the Nest studio since 8:30, so I was there for like 3 hours, a little over 3 hours. I think I left just before 12, and then had a quick break with my fiance while she had her lunch break, and then just sitting at the lake now. I think I've done like 3 LinkedIn posts. I did one about my Hero Cave brief, which when I was leaving, Tonga said, "Are you back tomorrow?" And I was like, "Oh, we're driving up to Auckland, and we'll be." She said, "Oh, you'll be back next week." I said, "Yeah, I'll be back next Monday." Then she said, "Shall we lock in some time to talk about the Hero Cave?" I was like, "Yeah, yes, please." And I actually just sent her a project brief, like an interior design brief. So what I did was, I basically just Googled what's a design brief look like, and then it came up with like this Miller Note guide, and then I just fed that URL into ChatGPT and asked it to, using this link, ask me a series of questions that I can answer to then provide and produce a brief. So then I did that, and it was a series of 9 questions, 9 different sections. It was kind of like purpose, theme, vibe, functional, technology, equipment, furnishings, and all these different sections of the brief, I guess. So I just filled it out, and then at the end it produced a Word document or PDF. So then I put it into Word, and then I started like hacking it apart and tweaking it and editing it, and yeah, kind of finished it, emailed it to her, and then I put it into chat and I said, can you convert this into like a very short LinkedIn post, 1500 characters or whatever. And then it did it, and each like section was basically a bullet point. So it was like the purpose, deep focus. Yeah, I can't remember. I might put it on the screen. I'll actually try to do it this time. Yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, sorry, I just had a heck of a day and I didn't have time to properly edit. I also realized that some of my older videos weren't actually published, like publicly. For some reason, I don't know what happened, but when I uploaded it, it just became private, so you couldn't see the videos. Like, I think it was 65, 66, and 60, or 63, 64, 65, and 66 had to be published publicly. Yeah, but I noticed that like our internet's kind of slow, eh? Like, we're on the fiber starter, which is 100, if I'm right. When I did speed test, it was, I might do one when I get home and put it on the screen, but it was like 100 megabits per second, and then it was like 30 megabits per second upload. So when I've been uploading these videos since I've been in Hamilton, bro, it takes so long. Like, one of them took, I think it took hours. So basically I would publish it and I'd go sleep, and then I wake up and it's still like processing. I'm like, oh my gosh, the plan that we're on is actually pretty bad. So we might need to upgrade, because I haven't even got into the heavy kind of work, but I kind of thought, maybe foolishly, that it would be enough. But yeah, I don't know. It's too early to tell yet. Maybe give it a month and then see if it's actually causing like significant problems. Then yeah, maybe we will need to upgrade to the next plan, because I think the next plan is like an extra, what would it be, $10-15 a month, which doesn't sound like a lot, or maybe it's $30. I have to double check. So I think we're paying, is it 55? Can't remember, man. I have to look. It was actually quite a lot of hassle, eh? Like, initially when I called Genesis, they said to me, we'll put you through to Fast Connect, which is like a third-party provider, and they do all of the kind of bundling, because this was Genesis power and gas bundled with 2 Degrees broadband and phone. So Genesis couldn't do, like, they could do the power part, but they wouldn't be able to do the internet. So then they have this other entity, Fast Connect, who basically like works with telco providers and gas providers, utility providers, I guess, and then recommends deals. So anyway, long story short, when I called Fast Connect, they actually tried to offer me a different deal, and I was like, hey, what do you mean? I don't want that. I want Genesis and 2 Degrees. And they're like, oh, are you sure? I'm like, yes. Because the one they were trying to give me, who was it? Contact or something? It was way more expensive. It was like $30 more expensive power, because Genesis Power, I'm pretty sure, had the lowest rates that I saw. They were like 30 cents cheaper on the daily rate or the usage rate. One of them was 30 cents cheaper, and then the other one was like cheap. Both metrics were cheaper, both power and gas. Both costs were cheaper, and I was like, what? Why would you? Like, I don't understand. Give me what I wanted. And it was actually more work, because I spent like half an hour on this is one of my videos, I can't remember which one, but I spent like half an hour on the phone with this Fast Connect guy, and then towards the end of it, he's like, oh, actually, I can't do the 2 Degrees part. You have to call them yourself. I'm like, fuck. I just wasted all this time when I could have just gone directly to the, and I did. Actually, another thing that I haven't got a response yet, but I ended up going with 2 degrees, and I'm already with 2 degrees. So we already had an existing plan at our Auckland place. And what I did was I called them up and I said, because I didn't know this at the time, is it possible to have two properties on the same account? Because I had the assumption that because my name was on the Auckland property, that I couldn't have a second account, but you can. He's like, no, you can. And because you're a loyal customer, we'll like waive the modem charge fee, $199, whatever it is. And then that was like before this other phone call, and then I ended up signing up with 2 degrees, and then they charged me for the rental, and I'm like, oh wait, let me dispute that. So I disputed it the other day when I was calling up about my broadband issue, which turned out that the frickin' fiber box was just not turned on. Stupid. Yeah. Anyway, when I disputed it with the lady, she's like, oh, let me check the recordings, because they record your calls, your conversations. You know how you're waiting and it's like, this call is recorded for training purposes, blah, blah, blah. So they actually record it. I'm like, cool. I can try help you locate the call, because it was around, a couple of weeks ago or a week ago. I spoke with this, I don't remember his name, but I spoke with a guy. I was talking about this. He presented me this offer, and I was like, cool. So they have yet to come back to me. Hopefully they do. And they will see that I'm not lying, and that he did say that we will waive the modem. So then they can remove that from my bill, and I don't have to pay, rental fee. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, internet data, uploading videos. Yeah, I should probably stop talking, because I'm kind of getting a bit tired mentally. It's a lot of stimulation. This is the hard part that I've noticed, that I kind of get humbled. It's like, yeah, I still have like a brain problem, because I never used to feel like this. I never used to kind of hit like an invisible threshold of, okay, I'm tired. Like I'm mentally kind of hot. Like my head's hot. It's a very weird sensation. It's hard to describe. Kind of sucks. Like when I looked at my brain scan, and maybe I'll find a picture or take a picture and put it on, but it was like they showed me a picture of, I think it was a CT scan, and it was like black and white. So the dark area of the brain, it was all black. That's kind of nothing. And then these like white spots, that was like the dead brain cells that happened from the stroke. And it looked quite big, and I haven't had a comparison since. So I should probably try and do that maybe around August or September, when it's like a year anniversary, or like a year since being in hospital, and then just say, let me compare how much has my brain actually healed, like from this to this, for example. Because they kind of said to me, one of the recent doctors said that, shit, it's at 11 minutes, I need to stop talking. Let me finish this thought and then I'll stop. They said to me that most of the recovery is in the first 3 months, and then the rest is very slow over time, over the rest of your life, basically. So I don't know quantifiably what that looks like, but yeah. Anyway, I made a rule that I would not exceed 10 minutes. This is beyond 10 minutes, so I'm going to stop. I will see you later. Yo, I decided I'm going to go for a walk. It's probably not going to be the whole thing, but we'll see. We'll see how much I do. See you later. Yo. So, actually, I don't know what time it is. 2:21. It's 2:21, and yeah, I've basically been, what have I been up to? Went out to lunch, and then I came home maybe 12:40, around 1. And then I've spent the last hour or so resting and watching some YouTube clips. So now I'm deciding to carry on with some of the tasks. I've got like all of these things that I need to do. Some of them are pretty small, some of them are like 10-20 minute tasks. Actually, I did a walk, did the design brief, cave brief, that's a double up. I had applied for jobs, but there was one job, and then I kind of went down a rabbit hole looking at other stuff, so I'm not sure about that. There might be a question mark. There's this job video that I need to do, but I can't do it now. Sorting out other bits and pieces. So I think I'll do all the messages because those are pretty easy. I can get those done. And I was actually working on a page of this book while I was at the studio. I wrote a little bit, so maybe I can do that. And then Jumpstart. Like, I've had Jumpstart on my list for days, and I just haven't got around to it. So maybe I should actually do that. The thing that's daunting about Jumpstart is that it takes such a long time, because it's like, let me try to find it. The videos are quite long, so it's like 1 hour, 1 hour 30. You got to watch the video, and then while I'm watching the video, I like to pause and take notes, and like, he talks really fast, so it's also just quite difficult to kind of keep up with him, if that makes sense. This is me logging into the Hardy Club, so this is like a part of a program that I paid for. So like, for example, this first one, week 1, 1 hour 26. Like, it's a long video, but it's good. Yeah, I remember doing this thing, this was April 28 when I actually did this. Starting today, less than 3 minutes in, and Darren's first question, why are you not more successful, has already stumped me. This will be a lot harder than I thought, which is perfect. Anything easy is not worthwhile. It reminds me of something Jim Rohn says, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Well, I certainly hope to be better after completing the 6-week challenge. See you at the finish line. Well, guess what? I didn't finish it. So, yeah. I think I got up to week 3, and then things started kicking off. This was like pre-move. This is back in April. So, what is it? May, June. Yeah, I would have been finished by now. I would have done it like twice, but things just started picking up. Like, I was in a good rhythm. I think this was before the whole public declaration bit. So it's almost like the public declaration has kind of threw me off. Let me just have a look at when I started writing this. So this is a book. I don't know if you can see it. This is a book that I've been working on. One book. There's another book. The title is, maybe I shouldn't mention it, but a concept that I've been going with is Start Messy, Start Now. A practical beginner's guide to writing the book you've always wanted to write. And then I've got a preface, which is kind of like, my understanding is like the epilogue or the thing before, like the intro, and then I started timestamping this. Like, for example, where is it? Somewhere here I said, it's been one of the most stressful seasons of my life. Fast forward to a few weeks ago on the 10th of May 2025, I made a public declaration to the world, universe and God that I would become 1,000% better in 10 days. That declaration represented the first day, day 1. As I'm writing this, it's day 39. And then, I wrote a bit today. It's actually, before that was 18 June 2025. I wrote this part, and then today it's 17 July, almost an exact month has passed since my last sentence. Still no book has been written. So it's like, man, yeah, I don't know, And I'm like, a month has gone, and what have I done? I haven't written a single page in this book. I said almost a month has passed since my last sentence, yet still no book has been written. Why? Short answer, life got in the way. Had to navigate a job change. We prepare for a move, find a rental property, organize everything, coordinate, and finally orchestrate the move to Hamilton. Today is day 4 in Hamilton, living in our new place, which I only got internet yesterday. Funny story, as I'm writing this sentence, I'm borrowing internet from a recent friend that I met on LinkedIn. Perhaps that's a story for another chapter. See day X on LinkedIn for context. This entire journey is being documented, as you'll see, and if you care to watch or read. Life is hard, distractions are everywhere. The modern world is full of distractions, things vying for your constant attention. A recent podcast on dopamine with the expert doctor, I need to check your name, and Stephen Bartlett from the Diary of a CEO focused on this and the many trials we have with doing what we need. A massive part of why any of us, including me and you, are struggling with maintaining balance of our dopamine. We are frankly addicted to our drug of choice. Our brains are unique. Some are more tolerant and some are less tolerant to the same drug. Alcohol, smokes, porn, gambling, social, whatever it is, etc. So, yeah. I need to work on this at some point. Maybe not right now because I'm kind of fried. And I need to plug in my laptop. Anyway, that's probably a whole lot of talking, and I don't know if you got any value out of it, but yeah, I'm trying lots of different things, and I think that's the problem. I was just reading a tweet by Alex Emosi, and he said one way to stay poor is to start lots of things but never finish one thing. And I think that's my problem. I've started so many different things and I haven't finished or done any of them. The only thing that I have done and continue to do is this. My LinkedIn posts, Darren Daily, which is a massive part of my day routine and trying to be productive and trying to incorporate things, but it's like there's this constant pull for your attention. Everything's distracting. Like in this room, like in this empty space, there's a lot of things, there's my laptop, there's this journal, there's another journal, there's a book, another journal, like there's just shit everywhere. And it's pretty empty. Like if you were to look at the rest of the room, there's not much here. Like imagine if this was fully furnished, books everywhere, sofa, TV, bookcases, like it would just be full with clutter. And we're not designed for that. I think that's the problem. So when I'm designing this hero cave that I'm working on, the focus of that room will be deep focus, 0 distractions, dark, sacred, and yeah, just a place that I can kind of zone out and get into like a flow state and create, because this is just not fit for purpose. I mean, it's good at the moment because it's pretty empty. I can do whatever I want, but this isn't a living room, like in the true sense of what a living room typically is for comfort and leisure. Like, you're not meant to have your laptop out in the living room. At least I don't think that's kind of the purpose of this room. The purpose of this space is like leisure, comfort, socializing, watching TV. So yeah, anyway, it's 10 minutes, another rant, so I better stop and do some work. See you later. Yo, so just recapping, it is 3:15. I've been spending an hour working on little tasks. One was an email, one was a testimonial. Actually 2 emails, 1 testimonial. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tasks left. 2 of them are easy. One of them, that's a easy email that I can send. So yeah, I am about to head out probably in 40 minutes, go pick up my fiance, and then we are gonna probably quickly have something to eat and head back to Auckland. See you there. Yo, we are in Auckland, just at the Manukau, Manukau, Westfield parking. Just drove from Hamilton, looking for some shoes. And we're gonna go home, have a kai. Nandos. Bro, look at this food. Kia ora. It's almost 10 o'clock. Going home. I'm signing out. I'll see you tomorrow.